Okay, let's talk about the defense. This was an interesting move in a week that had another interesting move. In this week alone, we traded the man who was our starting quarterback 2 weeks ago within the division.
Captain
of your team.
Team captain.
You literally traded him within your division, and then midweek, you trade one of your starting corners.
Having the best year of his career.
Having another bounce-back year when you're getting ready to play one of the most savvy quarterbacks that will put on a uniform this Sunday. How much impact can we expect Tyson Campbell to have when he's literally only going to have 2 practice days under his belt?
Oh, he's going to have an impact.
One way or another.
Whether it's good or bad remains to be seen, but he is going to make an impact.
Yeah, this is a tough one. When you got a guy coming in, and we talked about this on the YouTube show, zone coverage takes a lot of communication in the back end from your safeties and corners. Greg Newsome had played with Denzel Ward his whole entire career. Those guys back there, Grant Delpit has been a fixture back there, Ronnie Hickman. They've had those guys in the same room for a long time. So now you can get more creative and move coverage and with zones and do some exotic things. But now he's had 2 days of practice. He's only going to be able to play man coverage. Given the fact that Jim Schwartz does not travel corners as much, Denzel Ward is not going to be on DK Metcalf at all times. Aaron Rodgers, savvy as they come, Hall of Fame type quarterback, he's going to find him. He's going to find out what they early and often and check his temperature. And the worst thing you want to be is the new dude that came into a defense that has been playing great. And the guy you replaced was playing great and is a team favorite. And you come in here and you didn't give it up. And by the way, Tyson Campbell's given up a lot of big plays in Jacksonville this year. So that's in the back of your mind. The worst thing you want to have to happen to you, Jason, is being like, man, I got victimized my first day off the bus. Yeah. That's in Pittsburgh.
It's hard to overcome a bad first impression.
No.
Well, I don't know about that. Expectations, I think, are low just because the situation he's been thrust into. I totally understand why they made the trade. It might be painful in the short term. Long term, it makes sense. If you're not committed to Greg Newsome for the long term, and clearly they were not, you move him for a guy on a pretty good contract who's already had a lot of the money already paid out on it. Yeah. So it makes sense if you like the player.
For sure.
Yeah, it makes sense on paper. Now you just have to sort of get through this week, give him an opportunity to get in and really understand the system. I think the most pressure it puts on, frankly, is Jim Schwartz to try and make this guy, I mean, obviously on Tyson Campbell, but on Schwartz as well, to acclimate him, get him up to speed, and put him in situations where he has a chance to succeed.
The one thing that the Browns haven't done well is take the ball away. They weren't good at it last year. We're not good at it this year.
They were good at it last week.
They were good at it last week. But the one thing that I think we all agree on, if they're going to win games this year, they're going to win the turnover battles in those games.
You have to win turnovers and special teams.
You have to. And special teams has been a little shaky. Tyson Campbell, if we can put that graphic up where we're comparing his numbers to Newsome's numbers, we've joked that interceptions aren't our thing for our defensive backs. And sadly, it's true. But Tyson Campbell has forced 9 turnovers during his time in Jacksonville, 6 picks and then 3 forced fumbles. Greg Newsome's only had 3. And so I think if you're trying to improve in an area that you've been weak at, this might help. Maybe he's a little more of a ball hawk. Maybe he's thinking more, I got to punch the ball out when the running back gets to the secondary. We'll see. Hopefully, and I agree with you, long term, from a money standpoint, this makes sense. Because with each game that Newsome was going out and putting good tape together, the price tag for him next year goes up.
Yeah, and clearly they were not interested in committing to him beyond this year.
No, they weren't.